It started with a love story, or at least that's what the world thought. Juan Mosquera, a Colombian adult film actor, had always presented himself as charming, cultured, and calm. Behind the scenes, he had a darker side, one that simmered with jealousy, possessiveness, and rage. He shared a London flat with his partner, Jorge, and together they began a complicated relationship with a young woman named Valentina. To outsiders, it looked like an open-minded, modern trio, but the inside was far messier. Valentina was full of life, a free spirit with dreams of becoming a dancer. Jorge was soft-spoken, intelligent, and deeply in love with Mosquera. But Mosquera? He had begun to unravel. He didn't want to share. He didn't want to be questioned. And most of all, he didn't want to be left. Then one quiet weekend in August, something snapped. Mosquera strangled Jorge in the bedroom, not in the heat of an argument, but in cold, calculated silence. While Jorge gasped and fought, there were no cries for help, no banging on walls, just the quiet suffocation of trust. When Valentina returned, she must have known something was wrong. Maybe she saw Jorge's phone lying untouched. Maybe she saw the darkness in Mosquera's eyes. Whatever it was already too late. Mosquera turned on her next. By Monday morning, both were gone. And Mosquera? He rolled their bodies into a suitcase. For days, the flat remained eerily silent. Neighbors noticed the smell. Mosquera, calm as ever, told them he was moving. He even wheeled the suitcase through the front door like luggage for a trip. But inside that suitcase were the broken remains of the two people who once trusted him the most. He left the case at a friend's house. A lie here, a story there, and no one questioned him. But death has a smell, a presence. The friend grew suspicious. When the case was opened, the truth exploded like wildfire. The community was horrified. A man they once called polite, even charming, had become the face of a modern nightmare. A twisted killer who murdered not in passion, but in bitter control. At trial, Mosquera barely flinched. He sat stone-faced as prosecutors laid out the gruesome details. The judge called it one of the most chilling crimes in recent London history. But what hit harder than the crime was the irony. Mosquera, a man who once craved attention and admiration, had now become infamous for something far darker. The adult film star who once performed for a living now performed a permanent betrayal. His final act wasn't filmed, but it left a stain that no lens could capture. He was sentenced to life in prison. No spotlight, no audience, just the cold silence of consequence. Jorge and Valentina were laid to rest together. In the end, their story became a warning, a brutal reminder that sometimes the people closest to us can be the most dangerous. Justice was served, but it came soaked in heartbreak.